All right, quick and dirty video because a buddy of mine needs 4 bases of English longbowmen before tomorrow at a tournament. And due to work, it was busy as all get out. So in the standard wargaming fare, that means it's time to knuckle under, get these painted, at least to a semi-decent base coat, and then go from there, and we'll see how that goes. So this is what some of the ones I've painted before look like. I'm gonna try to get to a similar standard. These are actually Corvus Belli figures. So first thing I'm going to do, again, this is going to be quick and dirty because it has to get done, is I'm going to take a mixture of these just apple barrel and folk fare and combine them to get a nice dirty khaki. Parchment is really thick, but that's because this khaki I've got is substantially watered down. And again, this is just like I said, this is just going to be quick and dirty. We're talking like a really heavy dry brush, really. We're going to let a lot of the inks do most of the work on this. I guess you could do a zenithal to get the similar result, but I don't have time for that zenithal to dry before I crack on. We got the Players Championship tomorrow in Nashville at NashCon. Real good tournament. Last year I think they had 24. It looks like this year we're looking at about 28 participants. It's an open event. I prefer a little bit more of a theme myself. But hey, opens are opens, and why I like themes is that this is historical gaming for sure, and as such, if it's historical, you should have some plausibility of like opponents. You know, I know there's a couple Slave Revolt Army is going to be there, which is right around Spartacus's time, so in that anywhere from I guess 100 BC to 100 AD, thereabouts. Facing off, well, there's going to be some Italian Condata. There's going to be some French Ordance. I'm taking a 100-year war English. I know there's a free company, so I mean you're talking close to 1,500 years of evolution and warfare matched up against each other. And while Fog and some of the other rule sets that we all used to play had a similar condition, and we made it work for the most part, Just there's something about it to me that just irks at my sensibilities. Like I said, I guess you wouldn't even call this a dry brush. I guess this is just realistically a real quick and fat and dirty, easy overcoat. I'll probably do this 2 coats just for coverage sakes. Because this apple barrel, which you can get at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or any of the other big box hobby stores. Heck, I think Walmart has this stuff. Target has this stuff, or Target for those that are inclined to actually shower before they go shop. The brushes is just probably a Walmart brush pack that I got for $4 or $5. And on this stage, I don't even care what brush I use, because this is the same brush that I actually will flock with Elmer's white glue on. Now, I think there are enough subscribers to the channel that I could have done this live, but I'm not going to do that because I've got music playing in the background, and I need the music here to allow me to focus. Should put a poll up. Who paints the night before a tournament? How many units are normally involved in said painting? And to what standard do you attempt to achieve? So the rule system we're using is Art of War, and I won't even attempt the French pronunciation because it is a French rule set, and it appears that it has become the de facto default of tournament style ancient gaming, or tournament gaming, I guess. There are others. They still have Field of Glory, which all of us here in the States played after the DBM, the great DBM secession. That's got to be almost 20 years ago. Me and my gaming partners are really kind of late chargers to the event, as we all took time off to play other tournament games, other tournament genre. We went pretty heavy into the Flames of War, World War II gaming for 15, 20 years. We all did pretty well. Won some events. Even got best sport at a Battlefront sponsored national tournament. Here's my claim to fame. That 25 cents gets you half a soda. So this one here, as I pull it up, this one here is actually an Essex command stand of a, well, this guy here is the Corvus Belli, but you've got a Essex mounted archer and an Essex, I think he might be a friar or a monk, and I always like to throw command stand in every 4 or so stands of my foot. I think it just adds a little variety to it. In prior rule sets, that was one stand, but in Art of War, this tournament style, this is now the standard unit. Basically 2 commands or 2 stands of the old DBX troops. So while the units themselves, you're probably looking at anywhere from, 19 is probably about the least amount of units you would get on a tournament, a real tournament challenging list, up to 30. I'm curious to see how many the slave revolt, how many units are in the slave revolt army. Could be massive. Just don't know.
And she's failed us. Under Harris, over 10 million illegally here.
All right, so that's the first overbrush, I guess I would say. You can see the paint is a nice khaki color, but it gets a little muted simply because it's on a black primed base. So we're going to go through it one more time to ensure smooth coverage and give us a nice surface to continue our painting with. And again, this is quick and dirty. This is not how I would normally paint these guys, but again, need to get 8 of them done before tomorrow, and I got stuff to do tonight still. Just want to make sure that I have no wet spots, really. You're still seeing a lot of the dark in the crevices. You don't want to have too much paint on your brush to do this. You want enough. And I'm not flicking it back and forth. I'm trying realistically to just get it on the downstroke, because I want to keep the shadows on the underside of any cut or fold within the model itself. So I guess the Corvus Belli range was sold. The molds were then converted from lead or some type of metal alloy to a plastic, and I think it's a plastic injection machine. And they're available again. I think I recall, and if I can recall it, I'll put it in the link to this video at one point in time in the future. That's if I like this video enough to actually post it. That there is a company out there that will actually fulfill orders on the old molds in lead or metal. It's not lead, they won't work in lead anymore that I'm aware of. I think Essex actually even has converted from lead. Tells you I'm old, that I remember when my models were made of lead. Some of my gaming buddies remember casting their figures out of lead weights that they would melt down in the kitchen. That's right, kiddos. This hobby goes well beyond the Games Workshop days. Injectable plastic crack. So if you get a little bit too much paint, like there was a spot right here that I thought had a little bit too much, you know, you're just going to try to flick it off and use the base really as kind of an absorbent sponge to get rid of a lot of that excess.
In the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application.
All the little kids do so.
Guess I won't be making my famous burgers.
I bet this is a microstorm.
What's a microstorm?
I don't actually know.
Want to know why Secret beats degree? It's because just one use of Secret Clinical is equal to 2 uses of degree. It has Secret's strongest sweat protection that lasts for 72 hours. Secret works.
Like I said, I'm going to paint these guys in a red Surcoat. And then just, of course, you're going to paint the boots brown. Get the faces. Alright, little cheat code here is that this guy here has a belt. And I'm not going to paint it because when I put a wash on it, it'll come in as a different dark and it'll actually look like a rope belt. So I'll leave it. Yeah, realistically, this guy could be all brown. And all brown is what he's getting. So I'll come in later with the flesh and the red. Alright, get this base done. Show you guys this base. Pause the video. And I'll come back when I'm ready to move on to the next step.
Walmart Plus members save on delivery, gas, plus so much more. Join today.
Real quickly, I'm just going to show you this base, then we're going to pause it, and then I'll come back when the rest of them are pretty much into this status. So after the base coat, I've then gone ahead and put this kind of coat on them. Yeah, I could have just gone directly from the black to this. I like the transition. It starts to lighten things up. And it allows me to then darken when I do the actual bows and then the flesh. It darkens it enough where I like the transition in color. But we're going to pause the video here. I'm going to finish these up, and then I'll come back when we're on to the next. All right.